And we are on. This is our very decorated dinner. And this is our notch table. And what is that? Yeah, this is this is not Shmuel. This is Rabbi Shaimi from Fort Lauderdale is sponsoring tonight's notch table. Yes, should have all the brachas and all the. You guys probably heard today is a special day, Chav Gimel Sivan, right? I told you. It's literally a auspicious day to ask anything you want. In fact, you're commanding Hashem to give it to you, and Hashem has to do it. That's the Rebbe's words in the Sikha. Amazing Sikha. So the Rebbe says, that's what Mordechai did, Chav Gimel Sivan. That's how it is every year on Chav Gimel Sivan. Very interesting. At any rate, so the Rebbe, Nachum Mashiach, says the following. And we know that Torah there's a team of unity. Torah is united. And every part in Torah is united. And every part of a parsha is united with the whole parsha. The Rebbe says that's how it is with the whole Torah. Every part of the Torah is connected to the whole entire Torah as well. So there's achdus in the Torah. But we see it very vividly in the parsha of Shlach, in the parsha of the Meraglim. The Rebbe says that many portions in the Torah come with many things in the portions, and we don't right away on the surface see the connection between all the parts of the parsha, but obviously there's connection, and if we learn deeper, if the Rebbe tells us, gives the connection, we know it. If not, then we have to investigate. But here in Shlach, the Rebbe says it's so evident because the whole parsha is made up from one story of the Meraglim. So how is it that we see the theme of unity, how everything is united in Parsha Shlach? How is it connected to? Please, grab whatever you like, something to drink, to eat, whatever. Take. Where do we find unity in the Parsha? And obviously, and how is it connected to the Meraglim? Because on the surface, the Meraglim caused separation in the Jewish people. And a big sin, apparently. Very soon we'll see the Rebbe actually turned the whole thing over upside down and showed how the Meraglim were really on a very high level. Until the Rebbe did this, no other Jewish scholar out there or authority ever actually made this commentary on the Meraglim. Everyone till this day still think that the Meraglim were in wrong and they did something very evil and something very bad, and that's how everyone views them. But it's really the other way around, as we'll soon see. We'll make it very quick. So the Rebbe says, also another question we have is, we know that the Meraglim were sent on Chavtes Sivan to search the land, to spy the land. Why? We know everything is accurate. Why was it at the end of Chodesh Sivan? So to answer those two questions we have about the unity and the end of the month of Sivan, the Rebbe says, we know that the Haftarah is always connected to the Parsha. And in the Haftarah we have a similar story about Yeshua. Yeshua also sent Meraglim, but he sent two. The Rebbe says, let's take some of the differences that are between the Parsha and the Haftarah. Moshe Rabbeinu sent 12, Yeshua sent 2. Moshe Rabbeinu they were sent with pirsum, sent with advertisement. Before they left, they told all the Jewish people were leaving, and they knew when they were leaving, they knew when they were supposedly coming back, and everything was advertised, was publicized. They were not worried at all. Mashiach and Yeshua, he sent two. They were very quiet. Nobody was supposed to know. They were not allowed to tell anyone. And their names are not even down in the Chumash. We know their names from the Gemara. It was Kalev and Pinchas from Shevet Levi. But no names were mentioned. Everything is quiet. Everything is done like real two spies. The Rebbe says, Tzaddik. The Rebbe says also that when the spies, the 12 spies went in Israel, they went in the open. They were not afraid. They were just in the open, right in the middle of the road, going all together, not even 12 that were spread out. They were not afraid. They went all together, marching in the middle of Israel, while everyone is looking at them, even though they did not pay attention to them so much because they were burying their own dead. God made it a miracle that they will have a lot of dead people in their midst, and they will have to bury them, so they would not pay attention to the Israelites walking right in the middle of town. But really, honestly, everyone knew they were from Israel. Everyone knew they were marching. Everyone was aware of them, but nobody could touch them. How come? But the spies from Yeshua, Benun, they went cheresh. They went quietly. They went without any advertisement. They were scared. In other words, not scared, but Yeshua told them, make yourselves unseen, unheard, unprovoked. No one should know of you, and you should actually pretend to be deaf. And people that sell big pots of china, so no one would even think that you're spies. We see that it's exactly the opposite with the miraglim from Moshe Rabbeinu. Rebbe says, why are those differences? And then we'll understand what the whole point was. Rebbe says the difference is because of this. Moshe Rabbeinu, when they came to him and asked the Jewish people came to Moshe Rabbeinu and asked, let's go and ask for spies. Send spies to Israel to spy the land and find out if the land is good and where it's good to attack from and how the land is. Moshe Rabbeinu was very surprised. What are you talking about? To spy the land. To spy what? What land? Hashem promised you. Eretz Zavas Chala Udvash. This is going to be the best land in the world. And to have to attack the land, what do you need that for? You have the cloud, and you have a pillar of fire at night and a cloud during the day to lead you to the right ways, to where to attack. If you need to attack the enemy, where to attack from. And besides fighting and attacking, that's out of the question, because Hashem yilachem lachem.
That's what Moshe asking.
כן.
הוא אומר להם.
באו, תשלח לנו אנשים, יחפרו לנו את הארץ. הוא אומר להם, מה לחפור? הקדוש ברוך הוא הולך להילחם לכם, מה אתם?
אחרי זה הוא אומר להם לא לחפור, אבל הוא אומר, ייתן להם את הדרך אשר ומה הערים אשר יושב בהם במחנים, במבצרים, ומה הארץ השמיניים.
Now, this is beautiful. Now, what you're saying is, okay, now look, don't take this personal. Until this day, people, when they read the Parsha, they think that when Moshe sent the spies, he really sent them because he told them, look if they have walls. If the walls are up. Look if the people are strong. Why? I'll ask you why. You know why? Not to check if the people are strong and to check where to attack from. Not for that. Because Rashi says, you see the Rebbe's understanding of the Chumash is amazing. Now you will appreciate the wisdom. קח קצת גלידה, קח משהו. גלידה, יש שם גלידה. חיים, תן לו גלידה. So, look at this and you'll appreciate this so much. Unbelievable understanding of the Chumash. The Rebbe's understanding is beautiful. The Rebbe says, there's a land. We don't have to find out where to attack Israel from, or to be afraid of the enemy or anything like this. The reason I'm sending them to find out if the cities are walled up and the people are strong and the fruit is fat and all this and so on and so forth is not because we're worried about the people in the land and we're worried whether we're going to fight and win or not. That's totally not the issue. We know we're going to win. Hashem promised us. Hashem yilachem lachem. Hashem will fight for you. You don't have to worry about nothing. Everything will be totally miraculous. The reason I'm doing all this is for you to know that the land is good. Moshe Rabbeinu knew the land was good. Knew the Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. Hashem promises Zavat Chalav Udvash. Ashmenayim Raza. Is it fat or is it skinny? Is it thin? Yeah. All this is, like Rashi says, is because if the people are strong, then the land is very good. Why? Because the land grows strong people. breeds strong people. If the land is not good, that means the people are weak. If the people are weak, it's because the land is not good. You see the understanding of Rashi? No, nobody understands Rashi like this. Everybody thinks he sent the spies to know if the land is good or not good. That's not true. The land is for sure good. But I want to prove you that Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash. So, and there's nothing to be worried about. And therefore what? All that he told them to check and everything was just for them. Now Hashem told them, L'datcha, I'm not advising you to send them. If you want to send them, go ahead and do it. But I don't want to command you to send them. You don't have to. Moshe Rabbeinu still did it. And the Rebbe says, question why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu said, even though I see what Hashem wants them, Hashem promised them, Hashem expects them to believe what he said. Hashem doesn't want them to not believe what he said. Believe what I told you, believe what I promised you. No, but because they're my children and they want to not just believe, they want to see with their eyes. It's going to make them happy. So I know, I feel their need. So send. I'll send them, Hashem, I'm going to send them anyways. So, the Rebbe says in the next paragraph that there's many descriptions in the Torah that say the Meraglim were very, very great people. And the question that's begging to be answered is, if they were such great people, how come this tragedy took place? So the Rebbe says, the answer is that no tragedy, I mean, yes, the tragedy, yeah, they were punished to death, they died, and decreed to stay 40 years in the desert, and only their children were going to Israel. But nevertheless, the Rebbe says they fulfilled their mission to the fullest. That's incredible. The Rebbe turns the whole story upside down from what people would normally understand. The Rebbe says the Meraglim fulfilled their mission. Incredible. When they said the truth, they added on top of the truth, they added their own conclusion, but they said the truth, and because of that, because they actually fulfilled their mission, they said, this is Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash, it's flowing milk and honey, and it's fruit. This is the fruit from the land. And therefore what? Because of that, the Rebbe says, when the Jewish people went up to Israel, they went up so happy and so willing to go. And they were, because of the testimony that the Meraglim gave, so therefore they fulfilled their mission to the fullest. And that answers the question that a lot of Mepharshim have: how come, if they were such great people, how come they failed their mission? They did not fail their mission; they succeeded their mission.
They did fail their mission, but they did something good. Something good came out of it.
Yeah, the Rebbe says they fulfilled their mission completely.
Their mission was to tell them to go to Aaron and tell the Jews that the land was good, right?
And they did that.
They did that. And because of that, and when the Jewish people saw it, the Meraglim, their mistake was a mistake, and they paid very highly for it. And even the Rebbe explains in another Sikha where the Rebbe says that they were actually in such a high level that the reason they really wanted to stay in the Midbar is because to have dveikus in Hashem, to cleave to Hashem. But their mistake was that there's another higher level of love to Hashem, like it says, Avram or Avram, my servant who loves me. True love is to do something even beyond dveikus. Just because you're commanding me to do it, that's beyond dveikus. Dveikus means that I also have some benefit from it. I'm cleaving to Hashem, so you feel I have to have some benefit from it also. Higher level of love is to do what Hashem wants, whether I have cleaving or not. I just want to do what Hashem wants. At any rate, the Rebbe goes on to continue, and the Rebbe says that the shlichus of Yeshua and the shlichus of the Meraglim of Moshe Rabbeinu complement and complete each other. They're actually associated with each other, part of each other. Moshe Rabbeinu represents his chalkus. How do you say his chalkus, Levi? Division, right? It's there's two levels of unity in the Jewish people. Division, as a level of division, and the level of achdus, of unity. But how would you say? Okay, so when they come together, achdus and division come together, the birur, the refinement is on a much higher level, and it's complete refinement, the Rebbe says. We need both. We need Ischalkus and we need Achdus to have complete refinement of the Jewish people of the entire world. And when they're going to Israel, what's the point of going to Israel, to Eretz Yisrael, is to make Israel Dira B'Tachtonim. And when we make the Eretz Yisrael Dira B'Tachtonim, make the whole world automatically Dira B'Tachtonim, because the Torah says there's not anywhere in the world, any part of the world that's not found in Israel, in the land of Israel. Everything has a part of it in Israel itself. So by making Eretz Yisrael Dira B'Tachtonim, you're making the whole world Dira B'Tachtonim. And for that to happen, you need both Yeshua and Moshe. Moshe represents the level of Ischalkus, of division. There's 12 Shvatim. Everyone have to go. Everyone has to do his own part. Yeshua represents Achdus, when there's only two. It's like Nasa and Ishma. It's like Asa and Lo Tzase. It's Achdus. Hashem is one Torah. There's one Torah. The Rebbe says there's Ischalkus in the Torah itself. Samech Oisius La Torah. There's Samech Riboy Oisius La Torah. Many, 600,000 letters from the Torah. And each letter has to have its own shape and its own distance. And every Jew nurtures his life from one letter in the Torah. That is Chalkus. We see it in the Torah, we see it in the mitzvahs, but the Torah is one. And one letter missing from the Torah, the whole Torah is possible. So we see also Achdus in the Torah. So that's what Yeshua represents. So we need both. We need Achdus and his Chalkus. And Achdus is above his Chalkus. They will complement each other. And together they will make the refinement of the Dira B'Tachtonim on a much higher level and in a complete manner. So the Rebbe says we need both. And therefore, the Rebbe says that this is also, says we are preparing for Mashiach. This is what we need to know now as a Hira from the whole story, the whole Parsha of Meraglim, that we need to know there's different divisions, but the Sheresh and everything is one. And this is also the reason why every Shevet had to go through the entire Eretz Israel. If every Shevet would go on its own part, on its own chelek that is going to get when the land is divided, even though they didn't know their halakim, some of them did know. But what's the inner reason, the Rebbe says? What's the reason that they have to, all of them have to go to every part of it? Because each Shevet will get its own chelek.
Funny, because in the Sikha it says that
they didn't know
yet,
they didn't know, right?
Until after they went to Eretz Yisrael,
right.
And then later it says in the
right.
there was one Shevet which knew.
Actually, some of them, the Rebbe says, some of them knew because of the bracha of the Yaakov God.
That was only for Zvulun.
Yeah, but some of them, the Rebbe says, mentions the word some of them. Whatever, could be, in other words.
Look in the R63, and R63
okay.
It says only by Zvulun.
By Zvulun, yeah, it's true, it's true. Anyway, the Rebbe says the pneumistic reason why they actually had to go, every Shevet had to go through the entire Eretz Yisrael is because of the tzivui of V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. You should love V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. See? The Sikha. Yeah, the Rebbe says this or no? You went through the whole thing.
Yeah.
So the Rebbe says mitzad the fact that V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, they not just want to do it for themselves, but they want to do it with each other. Even though there's 12 Shvatim, but really the Shoresh is one, and everyone is one koima, one person, one building, one edifice, the whole entire Jewish people, to show that it's a higher level. It's mamshich, a higher level of Elikus, and you need both. So the message is from the Sikha, the Rebbe says that we should know, even though everything is divided, but we're all one, and we have to do a bedugma, as an example of what's going to happen when Mashiach comes. We have to act right now. We have to do it right now, to show Avas Yisrael, to show that we're all one. So the Rebbe says the Balabatim who are not the Zvulun, who are always working outside, should start learning, like the Torah, like Yeshiva Bachrim who always learn, should also deal with the Inyanim of Gemilas Chasadim and Tzedakah, should show the other part that they're not doing as much as the Balabatim do. And everyone, the Rebbe says, should give tzedakah and should give tzedakah in the schus of everyone else. And the Rebbe mentions over there that to the point where a person will give to the schus of the entire Yidden. In other words, when you give tzedakah, to have in mind that you're doing this for the benefit of all the Yidden.
Prutza, and even 5 prutzas for every single Yid.
For every single Yid. And the Rebbe says that for all the Yidden, and then it says the Rebbe Ken Ibn, and such an example of people should really take over as much as possible. These people are very good, but their custom is very good to give tzedakah for the schus of everyone. Every time you do that. And other Arash the Rebbe gives.
It's like $1 million will be for every single year, one person.
No, the fact that you're doing it for the schus of everyone, you know. Not so much.
I learned to some people are so rich they give stock there like $1 million, which is 14 million people a pruta each.
Ah,
3
pruta.
cents by 600,000, yeah? Cost
There's
600,000.
14 million Jews.
Yeah, the Rebbe says about the Rebbe talks about a shiras muflag over here. גם עבודת הפרטי שכל אחד ואחד מישראל כפי שמחולק עם זה מזה. כל מיוחד מעניין דלדעתך. עיקר מציאות האדם שאין דרי סיים שבס. צריך להריץ חדורה בנקודה האחדו של המלך המשחק הזה. Even though your avoid is different than your friend or whatever it is, you should always know that you're coming from one church. You're all one thing. Because this is what's going to happen. So now we have to start behaving like this as a preparation for what's going to happen right now. When Mashiach comes, we're all going to be really, we're going to feel not just that you and I are together, but you and I are one thing. Whoever says this level has to, the nekuda has to be kept in mind the whole time when you're doing your davening, you're doing your avodas Hashem, whatever it is, you should know that this, you are together with the other one, so you are actually one thing. כפי שמסבצת לכל הראש באהבת ישראל ואחדות ישראל, שמסבנים בדעתו לדעתך שמסבנים בצרכיו של הזולוס, in the needs of your friend. לצוי, לעזר ולסייע בכל מצטרך לו, to help him, and to aid him with everything that he needs, הן ברוחניס והן בגשמיס. וכפי שרואים בדיבור והקים הספסה, הספסה והווה מעשה, והסחול הזכלים לפני התפילה, הרי אני מקבל על המצווה ססה, שאהבת לרעך כמוך, that we say before davening every day, בפרט יוסר. And more specifically, בנוגע לבייס החלוקת הכללי שבישראל יששכר וזבולון. לא יסף לאחדות שנעשה על ידי זה שגם יש וילד מקיימים מצוות צדקה, even though the בחורים also do the מצוות צדקה. וגם בעלי השקים קיימים מיליטים יותר, and also the בעלבתים, they also learn תורה. יכולה וצריכה להיות האחדות גם בכל אחד מהחלוקות לתורה וצדקה ולדוגמן. But there has to be אחדות between them. But tzedakah, that in other words, something common in the two groups, even though they're working and you are learning, but both of you give tzedakah at the same time. But also the Rebbe says also a higher level of achdus, and the Rebbe gives an example. Shenoisin tzedakah gam l'schusha shel azulas. But the kama v'kama miYisrael, you're giving tzedakah for the schus of a few people from the Eden. Yishnam kaela shakadosh baruch hu bicham b'ashirus muflaka, and there's people that Hashem blessed them with riches, complete riches, beautiful riches. Shenoisin tzedakah l'schushim shekol bnei u'bnei Yisrael shebadoyer. Pruta achas or chamesh prutas abur kol echad ve'echad miYisrael. Wow, how do you do this?
So you do, let's say someone gives $1 million to tzedakah, that's one pruta for every single person in generation. Someone gives
1 second, the Rebbe is saying this because people actually...
like 3 cents.
A pruta is like 5 to 10.
The Rebbe is saying that these people that are doing this, they're having in mind to do this because they want to do it for every Jew.
Yeah,
for the schus of every Jew.
So you
In other words, I got it wrong the first time when I read it because I thought the Rebbe meant that no matter how much you give, you're giving this for the schus of the entire Jewish people.
No.
That's not the pshat.
And it's $5 million.
That's not the pshat.
For 5 prutas.
Okay, so when you do it for the schus of someone, you have to actually have a real division. In other words, you have to have a pruta. In other words, you have to have a pruta. In other words, I cannot say this is, if I give $5 now into the pushka, can I say this is for the schus of all the Yidden?
You can say it's for the whole Torah.
Sure you can.
You can have in mind, in other words, but it's, in actuality, you're not actually giving tzedakah for them. But when a person is giving a pruta for each Yid, so what he's doing in reality is actually doing it for the schus of that Yid. In other words, as if that Yid gave tzedakah. See that Yid, that tzedakah really is considered like a mitzvah of tzedakah for that Yid that he gave for. I mean, that's a pshat with this. That's what I understood from this. Yeah, he says to give a few prutas avokol echad v'echad miYisrael v'alavai she'irbu k'moisam b'Yisrael. The Rebbe says, I hope that there'll be a lot of those people will be blessed with riches and will be able to do this. So now this is the unity. This is how we unite both groups, the Bachurim and the Balabatim. So the Rebbe says, "V'Torah shleima shaloimen Torah gam imazulas." You have to learn Torah with your friend. You have to have a chavrusa. And with many students, to teach all the students. Now you'll see something very interesting. The Rebbe mentions the Rambam, learning the Rambam. I hope everyone does it. And we know the Rebbe's takana is 3 prakim, 1 perek, and Sefer Mitzvahs. And here the Rebbe is surprisingly,
he doesn't even mention that.
Doesn't even mention 1 chapter or Sefer Mitzvahs, only 3 prakim. Incredible. The Rebbe mentions only 3 prakim. And I have to tell you this. You will not believe this. There's a video going around where the Rebbe says that, I mean, I've never seen anyone doing this, but the Rebbe says that our people do that. There's people that go around, try to persuade other people out of learning the Rambam. Not to learn the Rambam.
I've seen that before.
You've seen that?
Yeah, they say, why do Rambam? Do Daf Yomi?
Oh my God, listen to this. This is amazing. I tell you why. Because the Rebbe says over there, there's actually, the Rebbe calls him Leitzanim. The Rebbe speaks very sharply, very angry in the video. I don't know what year that was, but the Rebbe says, I've never seen this before. I never knew there's such people. But you gave an example now. You saw a person like this. I mean, I've never seen a person going to another person and tell him, why you learn Rambam? So the Rebbe says, I mean, I can imagine another Baruch Hu maybe innocently going and saying, yeah, it's a waste of time, whatever. But the Rebbe is saying that these people are doing it maliciously. Like they're going and they're trying to persuade the other person not to learn the Rambam. And the Rebbe says they're Leitzanim, and then the Rebbe quotes the Gemara that says, Leitzanim don't see Shechina, will not see the Shechina, will not, Einam roim pnei Shechina. Very sharp statement to make, wow. In other words, they will not marry to see the Shechina, whatever that means. And then the Rebbe says, like this, if you went to them and asked them, did you ever learn one sefer from the Rambam? The Rebbe says, La yavel nivra. They never learned even one sefer from the Rambam. Now look at this. This is the most amazing statement. The following statement. The Rebbe says like this. Because if they would have learned one, what tagid l'chaim? If they would have learned one sefer from the Rambam. Now listen, this is amazing. Because the following statement. The Rebbe says the Rambam would have not let them become what they are, Leitzanim. The Rambam would have not let them become Leitzanim. In other words, the Rambam himself has an effect on the person. The Rebbe is saying, has a full effect on the person who's learning the Rambam. In other words, the person is literally getting affected from the Rambam. The Rambam is making sure you are Hasidish, you are a mensch. The Rebbe is saying this. The Rebbe is saying that if they would have learned one sefer from the Rambam, I'm telling you.
Can I see him?
I have to find the video. I'm telling you this. Please believe me. I'm telling you. The Rebbe is saying the Rambam would have not let them become a Leitzanim. I was like amazed. I said, if they would have learned one sefer, the Rambam would have not let them become a Leitzanim. It's amazing statement to make that when a person learns the Rambam, how much he gets, and the Rebbe does not reveal that stuff to you until he comes to a point in time where he's mad and angry, and then he shoots it out. The Rebbe spells it out, what the Rambam actually does to you when you're learning the Rambam. It's incredible. That's when you're learning the Rambam makes sure that you become a mensch. It's amazing, right? Isn't it? And now,
was mad, upsetting.
Oh wow! The Rebbe
wasn't mad or upset.
Rebbe was. You could see the Rebbe is like yelling, like Tzanim, and then the Rebbe says, "La yavel nivra." They never learned even one sefer. How do I know this? Because it would have not. The Rambam would have not let them do what they're doing if they would have learned even one sefer. All right, amazing. So now the Rebbe speaks about the Rambam, and we'll finish off. And then the Rebbe says, in other words, you should learn the Rambam, guys. I don't know if you're doing 3 prakim or not, but you should definitely start.
If it's too heavy to do 3, you can
do one. If you don't do one, do your Sefer HaMitzvahs. Obviously, for sure. Just that it's good to do. I do it now. I try to do it right away in the morning, even before.
Some people take them longer to do one prakim.
Even before Shachris. I saw it's brought down Avram Dunin, like one of those greatest Chassidim from our generation. Yeah, he would sit down and do it before Shachris, and they asked
to do it at night. The night, like when it's gonna be night right now, you're gonna do for Chof Dalet. That's what you're supposed to do. Like
the night off, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice.
That's how you're
I mean, some big Chassidim were seen doing it right before Shachris, and they asked Avram Dunin one time, why are you doing it before Shachris? In other words, it's more fitting to learn Chassidus. So he says, it's the Rebbe's takana. I have to do it right away. That's what he answered. It's amazing. I mean, obviously, probably not Chassidus also, but he made sure to do it. So today I got carried on with other stuff, and I couldn't get to it, so I'm going to have to do it.
What I heard was that Rambam was supposed to be learned the night of. Like tonight's Chof Dalet, you're supposed to learn for the night of. Nice. Chof Dalet. Nice. And then after Shachris, it's supposed to be when you do Chitas.
Chitas, nice.
That's what I heard.
I've never done it the night of, but I could. I mean, That's the way to do it. You heard this?
It's the best way. Then you're in a headed game instead of behind.
Yeah, that's right.
I heard that you're lying to remember the day before the day after.
Yeah, because that would make it like the day before.
Well, it's not the day before.
It's the night of. Yeah, you're right.
Day. That's terrible.
That's right. And then the Rebbe says, he finishes, Ve'od ve'ika, and the main thing is, the main hurrah is, that, okay, the Rebbe spoke about Gilul Prakim, it's called Bnei Yisrael, and look at the after. Soon, very soon the Rebbe says that. But here the Rebbe says that the Rambam causes Achdus. The Rambam causes Achdus between the Yidden. In other words, a person will be more b'Achdus with Bnei Yisrael when he learns the Rambam. That's what the Rebbe says. Pshat. The Rebbe says like this: V'yesh le'esid shenikudas Achdus Yisrael v'Torah. V'Torah he b'adgash v'yechetz v'limud harambam. כמניק שנספש בשנים האחרונות ללמוד שיר ימי ברמב"ם ג' פרקים ליים שכל בני ישראל מסערדים בלימוד סגול התורה מקבץ לתורה שבעל פה כולה כמו שנסבר ברור כל במקום אחר ועוד ועיקר now the rest is and plus and mainly האחדות לישראל ולתורה שעל ידי הפצת המיינוס לפנימיוס התורה סתים שבתורה שעל יד הנעשת האחדות סתים לישראל עם סתים לקודש הבריך וחוצה עד לחוצה שני חוצה הימנו כשנסחדש מיוחד בדורנו זה גם במיוחד בחצי כדור התחתון שבו לא היה גילוי דמת מתרה שבו ניקו מושב של נשיא הדויר קודשת מורי וחמי הדמויר. Never says spreading a chassidus, right? How do you spread a chassidus? How do you do that?
You know, like a Chabad house, you go in time.
Right, this is always brought out, right? By the brochures that you give, you spread out a lot of chassidus, right?
If they read
and by giving shiurim, you spread out a lot of chassidus. That's the way to do it. The Rebbe says to spread out chassidus. That's the main hurrah. The Rebbe says, "Umisham ufatzim ma'anis b'chol katz v'tevel mamash u'meshach yovel shanim olam asher al yedei hatosefa ha'osefa b'fatzas ha'mayanos chusha shekvar hayta be'ofen dai v'hoitach." The Rebbe says already, everything was done already, overwhelmingly. Das elokei avicha ledaitcha zechim techef miyad le'isa azman. This will bring Mashiach the quickest way. Shalei esek kol ha'olam ela das tzavaya bilvad. לפיכך יהיו ישראל חכמים גדולים יודעים מדברים מסתובבים ישיגו דעת ברם כפי כל אחד משנים כי מה לארץ זה הסבייה כמים להם חסים וכן תהיה לנו שתכף מיד ממש ביום זה יום שבת כזה פרשת שלח מסכם זה פועל ממש לבשרה של פרשת שבוע בישר להם שיקצו לארץ וגויים זה שבת לגויים את ארץ ישראל ובסיים בחייסם הרפתורה נעשה נביה בידינו את כל הארץ וגם נמוג כל יושבי הארץ מפנינו השם will give us the land and all those settlers who are not supposed to be there will all be afraid and demolished. כל ומיוחד על ידי שגם ברגע הגלות האחרונים יודעים בסויקף על שלמוס הארץ. The Rebbe is speaking about שלמוס הארץ now. They're not giving any of the land of Israel, God forbid, away to anyone. בנוגע לחלקי הארץ שכבר ניתנו על ידי הקדוש ברוך הוא לבעלותים של בני ישראל שלא להחזיר. And the Rebbe is emphasizing those words. In other words, the print is bolded out. שלא להחזיר חד ושלום אף שעל משטחי ארץ ישראל לאומות העולם. Not an inch, God forbid, to the goyim or to any nations of the world out there to give away from the land of Israel. כל בני ישראל באים לארץ ישראל בשלימוס השלימוס בשלימוס. ארץ 10 אומוס כולל גם ארץ קני כניזי וקדמני שישראל לקליט ג' שבטים וארץ ישראל עצמה באים לירושלים עיר הקודש של נשחק על השבטים לבית המקדש השלישי ושם